What everyday thing seriously creeps you out? Driving. You're trusting that everyone else is going to follow the rules of the road, but any old asshole can just kill you in an instant. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Brain aneurysms are common in my family. Knowing I'm at increased odds of suddenly dying is more than a bit disconcerting. Driving in between semi-trucks on the freeway, I feel trapped. Soggy wet food I have to clean up from the sink after washing dishes. Children tend to scream a lot when there's nothing wrong. They're just playing and having fun. Absolutely flays my nerves. That I can casually mention X product and then get inundated with ads for it on Facebook, Amazon, etc. Windows at night. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but I'm talking about the windows in a house. It's hard to tell on here. The fact that we have holes that lead inside our body. Women with really long fingernails. Long nails scare the crap out of me. The fact that almost every human is covered in microscopic mites living off our hair follicles, eating our body's natural oil secretions. That anyone you care about can die any day, or your own life. It ducks me up to think I might wake up tomorrow and by the time I go to sleep again I will have a person, or more, less in my life. Grass. It's alive but it's everywhere. That our government spies on its own citizens. Just kidding. We wouldn't do that. Every human grew inside another. That it is gross. I have 2 kids and am intimately familiar with the whole process. I'd much rather people grow in like pods or something. When in the men's room, you notice a fair amount of people don't wash their hands. You've probably shaken hands with loads of people that have just touched their D. On a similar note, people who let their dogs lick their faces knowing full well their dog licks other dogs' buttholes. Totally gross. Gauges. Like that one dude who put one in his cheek so you could see his teeth and it. Bugs might crawl across my face when I'm sleeping. Came here to say foamy toothpaste water pooling in the bathroom sink when I brush my teeth. But then I saw the thread about aneurysms and now maybe the toothpaste water isn't so bad. Sometimes I stop to think how fragile society is and it scares me. Everyone is collectively deciding to be a normal functioning adult today and one day we could just not, and it would be chaos. Same goes for currency. It's so fragile that if we all decided money was worthless, it would be worthless. Edit. I understand these possibilities are super unlikely in any normal scenario, barring nuclear war or some other kind of Great Depression. It's not a legitimate fear of mine. I'm just saying Marizo, it's interesting to think about. I do not think society will just collapse any given day or that money will suddenly be worthless. Was eating lunch today and looked over at a relatively skinny kid. Saw his jawbone moving under his skin as he ate. Absolutely horrifying. Worms on the sidewalk after a rainstorm. No clue why, but every time it really freaks me out. Social media manipulation of the news and how people take it at face value. Then the echo chamber starts and fake stories or out of context facts are considered truth. With the deepfakes getting even more convincing now, we are going down a very scary path. Food that still has its face attached to it when it's served. Roasted whole pig. Lobster. Fish. People walking too close to me on the sidewalk. Edit. Especially when there is a ton of space, or the street is otherwise empty. If someone is too close to me, I'll just move to the side and wait till there's enough space. It gives me serious anxiety sometimes. Maybe I was mugged in a past life. Those ads you have to see when you just want to read an article. The ones where you see people with scary plastic surgery or weird foot fungus. I don't want to see that stuff. Calling a guy you find sexually attractive daddy. No thank you and will always weird me out. That one day you will have to witness everyone you love die, and there's no getting around it unless, of course, you die first. In the end, death is inevitable and everything that you know will cease to exist eventually. Monkeys. Nasty little creepy ass duckers. Chimps. Gorillas. Orangutans. All of them. Everyone thinks they're so cute. No, they'll rip your damn face off. I bet they stink. 2. but I've never gotten close enough to know. Venomous snakes. We have way too many copperheads in the southeast US. My dog got bit in the mouth last week and spent a couple of days in the vet hospital. I have killed 5 danger noodles in my backyard in the last 4 years. Some people say don't kill snakes, but duck that. If one of us gets bitten it could be a $30k hospital bill. Every day when I bring my sisters at school, I'm always afraid if they are going to be kidnapped, that my parents are going to die someday and it won't be the same in the house. The thought of not having them in my life is scary. They will become a memory. The amount of people at work that don't wash their hands after using the bathroom. Claymation. The melted look of the characters. The jerky movements. Sweet baby Jesus. I hate it. That we give flowers to people, even though they are plants' genitals. Happy anniversary, here's your bag of smelly D's. People who are angry or blatantly disrespectful for no apparent reason. I mean, we are all just trying to live here. Why be mean? Pamphlets left on the seats of public transportation like trains or buses. Sometimes they're religious, sometimes they're medical, but all the time it feels like someone's creepily waiting for me to open it. If you think about breathing, it becomes manual labor. The news around killings. Basically, there's always stories of someone murdering someone either out of enjoyment or out of circumstance. But the fact is, anyone around us could be now or in the future a murderer and we could be the victims. I seriously walk down the street and think of how I interact with someone and whether or not they could become vengeful. What if I say something rude and that's the moment they snap and pull out a knife and stab me? What if I hurt someone's pride and later that night I find them outside my workplace or home, ready to exact their revenge on me? It's scary. Just the thought of pre-Big Bang. The concept of absolutely nothing. Also, people who sexualize toddlers. OHH, he's such a little flirt. What a ladies man. Gross. Spider crickets. You never know where those creepy duckers are gonna go and they can jump so far and they look like spiders. Which I like but not when they are jumping at me out of a darkened room. Porcelain dolls. Dated a girl who had a collection of them and I hated seeing them so much. Wet hair on the shower drain cover. Ads that pop up showing something that you just thought about. Parking garages, especially at night. The Pledge of Allegiance. The fact that kids are forced to swear their undying loyalty to a country, to promise to not even question it, and that it is protected by ducking religion. It's ducking horrible. The holes in olives. IDK if this counts. But I have a constant fear when I'm sat still someone has a sniper aimed at my head. Spiders. I'm a 32-year-old man but inside there is a 5-year-old itch who squeals at the sight of them. Cotton. I hate the touch of really cottony things. Eating meat that isn't boneless. Chicken wings, ribs, etc. Insects. Any kind of insect. I'm not afraid of many things but any and all insects can politely go duck themselves. They're creepy, crawly little methodikas and they are single-handedly the most disgusting thing. My girlfriend is terrified of moths. Other bugs don't bother her, not even spiders. But she spots a moth and she hides behind me. Thinking about my existence will seriously duck me up. This life doesn't feel real and the person who I am seems so unfamiliar. How people have sex and don't wash their hands or shower immediately afterwards. Parent mouth kisses with their children. Stop that. The thoughts of an entirely separate living entity growing inside my body, feeling movement inside myself and it be a living being, freaks me out. Never had kids. Just can't even fathom it nor having some kind of fluid suddenly shoot out my nipples. WTF. Any other time, I would be rushed to ER. Pedophile jokes in media. I can't close my eyes in the shower for more than 30 seconds. IDK I just can't, it creeps me out. My intrusive thoughts. OCD sucks ass. I live in California. Silicone tits are all over the place. They just look painful to me. The fact these idiots on the road don't realize how dangerous their 7KLBS SUVs are. I ducking hate SUVs with a passion. And here they are, piloting with a knee while they binge watch their show on Netflix at 70 miles per hour. Know that someone at school could pull out a gun or shoot it up. That it terrifies me, especially in high school where security isn't that good. Knees, specifically kneecaps. I don't like how you can't move them around under your skin. All the people with Punisher skull thin blue line bumper stickers on their vehicles. Every single one of them has conflated a murderous, mentally ill, fictional vigilante with an authoritarian desecration of the American flag, and they think it's a good thing. Children's dance recitals and beauty pageants. Dogs have anal glands that could erupt any moment if something freaks them out. Thinking about relaxing my tongue. Is it always floating? Am I constantly using muscles to keep it in place? It feels like more effort to lay it down on the bottom of my mouth than to keep it raised against my teeth. If it relaxes enough, will it start sliding down my throat? The fact that you always think the odds of me getting killed by a serial killer by a car crash etc is so low. It will never happen to me is what all those people who that happened to thought too. And there's still a chance. Sometimes I'll think about my Adam's apple and how there's a rock hard lump protruding from my neck. That'll do the trick. Little kids with their faces painted. HIR. I've been made fun of for my intense, irrational fear of hair. When it's attached, it's fine. But if it's a stray strand or, God forbid, a clump, I'm gagging and probably throwing up. The always growing Internet of Things. People putting clothing in their mouth, towels, laces on hoodies, shirt collar. I used to see kids at my school just gnawing on their clothes. It's disgusting and I cringe. We almost die every single day. Everyone is also slowly dying if you think about it. I like to go on long walks with my friends during night time, like 2 AM most of the time, because there's a sense of peace that I get from just strolling down the street while it's quiet and empty. But more often than I'm comfortable with, I'll hear sounds like gunshots or car house alarms. The most recent walk I went on, I heard a woman screaming at the top of her lungs. Ironic that I take these walks for the sense of peace. I know, and I guess the point is all the bad it that people do when they think no one is around terrifies me. Mirrors at night, same for windows. I've seen enough horror movies to know that if I don't stare into the mirror the color won't suddenly appear behind me. The general paranoia of our age. Does my work know what kind of underwear I bought off Amazon? That kind of thing. That we constantly have to take people's word for it in many areas of our life, that is, doctors, mechanics, politicians, etc. Not in a conspiracies everywhere type of way, but in a there's not enough time to fully learn and understand everything way. 1. Waking up 40 years old. Realizing the best 20 years of human life are now gone. 2. Knowing none of the 3 big dreams I always hope to reach will ever come true. 3. Knowing I spent so much time thinking when I should have been living. 4. Feeling as though other people's opinions have controlled my choices. 5. Knowing that my general avoidance of conflict has proven me a weak human who would have become a hell of a lot stronger if I had faced my demons with shoulders back. Going in the basement IDKY, just looking down the stairs and seeing nothing and hearing nothing is creepy. You always get out alive, but you know something is watching and it's waiting to strike. The deep ocean. Thinking about it practically gives me an anxiety attack. The idea of piercing your infant's ears. You wouldn't pierce their nose or belly button. What's the difference? So weird. Getting voice calls. I am tired of the crapshoot of who to expect. Friend, family, charity, scammer, dentist, robocall creep me out. The feeling of ground meat under my fingernails when making meatballs. Anything else, such as butter when making pastry, is no issue, but ground meat is the yuckiest thing ever. Baby corn. Ducking. Baby corn. I don't know why, it just does. Parasites. The thought of having something inside you, eating on the things you consume or even on yourself. Without being able to do anything, it just scares me. That and a music video where a puppeteer is in a car accident. I was afraid of it as a child and it still haunts me today. Reciting the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school. I'm getting hella propaganda vibes whenever I have to do it. That being religious is still socially acceptable. Any kind of automated robot voice message, like the emergency tests that come on the radio or TV, those have always scared me. Shared locker shower rooms in middle and high school for after gym class. Like as an awkward teenager, that just seems like a really weird situation to force you into. I mean, yeah, you can go into a stall to change, but I've been the stall kid and that wasn't very fun either. Pregnant bellies without belly buttons. Fake eyelashes, especially seeing them being put on or taken off, makes my skin crawl. Pregnancy. Just the fact that a woman can have another fully developed human being inside her creeps the shizzle out of me. Just reminds me of aliens and I expect the baby to eat its way out any moment. Seeing myself naked in the mirror. People getting physically very close to me. I don't like being touched by people. Hugging people is weird to me. I'm only okay with people who I love and trust. Sound of Velcro tearing gives me goosebumps. That many people live their lives alone. It's heartbreaking.